In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. And this just in, the Bitcoin hash rate hits a new all-time high. Let's freaking go. Also breaking news, Binance and CZ settlement with the Department of Justice is bullish for the Bitcoin ETF, according to top crypto analysts. And quoting the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser, fact, CZ never made it off the naughty list in El Salvador. Now that he has pled guilty for his crimes, Salvadorans can breathe easier that this ishcoiner won't be menacing them. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing that the new Binance CEO Richard Teng pitches a very strong foundation to skeptics, and we'll be discussing Binance moving forward. Also breaking news, the SEC identifies 6 crypto tokens as securities in the latest Kraken lawsuit. I'll be revealing what these 16 alleged crypto token securities are. Also in today's show, Grayscale met with the SEC to discuss spot Bitcoin ETF details, which is definitely a good indicator that an ETF is coming soon. And not only that, but it looks like BlackRock also met with the SEC, according to James Seyfert. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as the spot Bitcoin ETF odds might have increased to now 100% certainty, according to the latest report by Matrixport. Also in today's show, did BlackRock take down Binance? Well, quoting Altcoin Daily, BlackRock and Vanguard together own 10% of Coinbase. The action today against Binance was all planned, just like the Bitcoin ETF is planned. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone just joining us. Please smash the subscribe button as you'll receive daily premium crypto news alerts just like this every single day. And be sure to hit the like as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Today is pod episode number 1469. I'm your host JV, and today is November 22nd, 2023. We have lots to cover. Let's kick it off with our market watch. We can see Bitcoin trading above 36,500. Good news, we've held on to that 36,000 support even after these major charges against CZ, and Binance being the largest crypto exchange in the world. We have Ether pumping in the green, trading above $2,000. BNB is one of the top losers, down 11%, while XRP, Cardano, and Solana are all correcting and in the red. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits just shy of 1.4 trillion with 65 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is 51.3%, with the Ether dominance at 17.7% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, surprisingly enough, FTT token is ripping up almost 50% on the day. Good Lord, trading at $4.55. That's the native token of the FTX exchange. We got Blur up 28%, trading above 49 cents. And Uniswap up 14%, trading at roughly $5.80. Now, which altcoins are you currently most bullish on for this bull run? Let me know in the comments right down below. And checking out crypto bubbles, we can see we have FTT, Pith, and Blur as the top leaders on the day. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, we're currently rated a 62 in greed, yesterday a 71, last week a 60, and last month a 53, which is neutral. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let's kick it off with our Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts of where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Check it out. Bitcoin traded $1,000 off the weekly lows after the November 22nd Wall Street open as the price action relief bounce held firm, as you can see here in the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph and TradingView followed the crypto markets as they recovered from the snap downside the day prior, as the dust continued to settle on the news that the largest global exchange, Binance, would settle with the Department of Justice for a whopping $4.3 billion fine. Good Lord. Bitcoin traders eyed the latest important price levels. Dan Crypto Trades showed Bitcoin respecting a trading range in place for 2 weeks, despite dipping to 35.6 after the Binance event. Quoting him here, nice tap and bounce of the range low yet again. Pretty clear that the most important levels are $35,700 and $38,000 in this area, so keep your eyes out on those levels. The corridor between 35 and 38 was of equal interest to optimistic market participants waiting for the next stage of the Bitcoin bull run. These included popular trader and analyst Credible Crypto, who predicted some range-bound activity before an impulse higher. Quoting the analyst here, as others have pointed out, spot premium is back. Definitely a bottom forming here, in my opinion. That being said, think for now upside is capped at around 37,000, with the downside capped at 35. I'm sorry, the upside's capped at 37 with the downside capped at 35. As we form a little range here for a couple of days of accumulation before liftoff. And as per my chart, which you can see on your screen, in the quoted tweet, looking for the lows of 35.5 to get taken before the conclusion of this accumulation phase and the start of the next impulse. Now, another chart of the Binance order book shows liquidity pockets defining likely range highs and lows. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin price action on the 4-hour chart. Fellow trader Jelly, known for his bullish long-term outlook on Bitcoin, cautioned that buyer interest must now solidify, quoting him here, while we never took out a single low, Bitcoin has work to do. For the first time in this consolidation, we failed to make a higher low, and now we are also back below the key level. The bulls need the step in here. And on the longer time frames, he points out a breakout for the so-called cup and pattern handle with a 48,000 price target to match, as he shares here. Bitcoin's cup and handle pattern broke out and pushed straight through the 30,000 resistance level. Targets from here are 48,000 and new all-time highs. Let me know if you feel we can still hit 48,000 potentially before the end of Moonvember. If not Moonvember, then December. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And in the latest coverage of the order book changes, monitoring resource, material indicators suggest that the whale selling was still ongoing. But despite this, liquidity overall moving higher was a bullish sign. It added, quoting him here, waking up to some interesting activity in the Bitcoin order book. Fire chart shows both bids and asks moving up, which is a sign of short-term bullishness following yesterday's dip. No real surprise there, but what you can clearly see is different in this chart. So there you have it. And in other news, the Bitcoin hash rate hits a new all-time high. Look at that chart. Good Lord, we're continuing to soar, and they say that the price action is a lagging indicator to the hash rate. Let me know if you agree or disagree. But now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss the ongoing Binance saga. $4.3 billion fine. CZ steps down as the CEO, and he could be facing up to 18 years in prison, as word on the street. Let's break this baby down. The crypto community on social media has greeted the news of the deal between Binance's CZ and the US Department of Justice mostly positive, hoping it removes one of the last remaining obstacles before the long-awaited approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. The $4.3 billion settlement between the Department of Justice and the world's largest crypto exchange for violating U.S. anti-money laundering laws, and including a plea deal with CZ, who has agreed to step down as the CEO of Binance. The news of the deal and CZ's departure led to a market correction that saw some $175 million worth of leverage crypto positions liquidated, while close to $1 billion in crypto assets flowed off the crypto exchange. As you can see here, over $1 billion of outflows out of Binance in the last 24 hours. Now, apart from the market correction, most crypto members saw the settlement as the plea deal is a big win for the exchange and the crypto industry. Many critics had previously claimed the U.S.'s pursuit of Binance would end the crypto exchange dominance. Quoting Cole Garner here, "This is the greatest victory of CZ's life. Absolute 3D chess master. From day one, the Department of Justice and SEC have always been Binance's biggest risk. CZ's greatest threat, the dragon on the horizon." And then he continues here. Let's open up this post on X. Now he says, now after years of uncertainty, the DOJ has finally been neutralized. The dragon is slayed. He bribed them $4 billion in broad daylight. CZ will step down as chief executive and move on to the man behind the curtain. The new puppet Muppet CEO will have an active, excellent listening skills, and Binance is free to continue business as usual. There are no consequences here. At the start of the bull market, Binance will make it back next year. He was facing a life constrained by extradition risks, but now he can go anywhere. The most hilarious part, with the biggest threat to the new bull now neutralized, Binance is positioned better than anyone to profit off of the bull. They are literally their own catalysts. You can't make this ish up. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the sentiment from Cole Garner. Now, many others call Binance's settlement with the DOJ the last step before the SEC approves the spot ETF. Now, generally, the crypto community appears to see the deal as a win-win scenario for the crypto ecosystem and a bullish catalyst for the next bull run. Quoting analyst Tony Edward. Sweet baby Jesus, this is bullish. Binance settling with the DOJ removes the bearish scenario. I think the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals are around the corner. When we start pumping and euphoria returns, don't forget to take profits. However, there's a mixed bag. Not everyone is so bullish or positive on this news. Quoting, I'm not the wolf. Seeing a ton of bull posts on my timeline. I don't think people understand the situation. It's obvious that Binance would settle and pay a large fine, but this doesn't mean it's all sunshine going forward. Remember, the SEC and DOJ have all the firepower focused on Binance now. Let's see. Now that it is a done deal, they can go after every other player in the space. And ironically enough, they're also going after Kraken with another lawsuit. Unfortunately, I don't think it is up only just yet. Soon, but I believe we'll see one more dip. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts on that. Now, the SEC lawsuit is civil, keep in mind, and analysts believe that the DOJ settlement means Binance and crypto industry have removed the biggest obstacle to the launch of the bull market. A few others compared the Binance settlement with DOJ to BitMEX, in which its then CEO Arthur Hayes pleaded guilty to violating anti-money laundering laws, the same crime that CZ had committed and basically confessed to, and stepped down from his role. He was later sentenced to 2 years probation, avoiding a possible prison term of up to 6 to 12 months. So there you have it. I'd love to know, do you think CZ will likely face any prison time from this? Please do let me know. And also wanted to share a tweet from Max Kaiser. Fact, CZ never made it off the naughty list in El Salvador. Now that he has pled guilty for his crimes, Salvadorans can breathe easier that this Ishcoiner won't be menacing them. Thanks to the heroic work of Bitcoin maximalists and economic freedom fighters in El Salvador, from Berlin to Bitcoin Beach, San Benito to Conchaga, to every city, town, and hamlet in between, we, the El Salvador people, will keep Bitcoin country free of coins. So there you have it, my crypto fan. What are your thoughts surrounding this latest development with CZ stepping down, being fined $4.3 billion? And do you think this is bullish overall for the crypto community and the likelihood of that ETF approval being imminent? But I have a bonus story to share with you regarding CZ and Binance and the effect on the crypto market. So let's get back here. This one says CZ's departure, Binance deal leads to a purge of $175 million worth of crypto longs. And quoting CZ's initial departure tweet here. Today I stepped down as the CEO of Binance. Admittedly, it was not easy to let go emotionally, but I know it is the right thing to do. I made mistakes and I must take responsibility. This is best for our community, for Binance, and for myself. And he continues on in the tweet, which we open up right here. Binance is no longer a baby. It's time for me to let it walk and run. I know Binance will continue to grow and excel with the deep bench it has. I am pleased to announce that Richard Teng, our new former global head of regional markets, has been named the new CEO of Binance today. Richard is a highly qualified leader, and with over 3 decades of financial services and regulatory experience, he will navigate the company through its next period of growth. He will ensure Binance delivers on our next phase of security, transparency, compliance, and growth. Prior to joining Binance, Richard was the CEO of the Financial Services Regulatory Authority at Abu Dhabi Global Market, Chief Regulatory Officer of the Singapore Exchange, and Director of Corporate Finance and the Monetary Authority of Singapore. So with Richard and the entire team, I am confident that the best days for Binance in the crypto industry lay ahead. As a shareholder and former CEO with historical knowledge of our company, I will remain available to the team to consult as needed, consistent with the framework set out in our US agency resolutions. What's next for me? I will take a break first. I have not had a single day off for real break for the last 6.5 years. After that, my current thinking is I'll probably do some passive investing, being a minority token shareholder in startups in areas of blockchain, Web3, DeFi, AI, and biotech. I am happy that I finally have more time to spend looking at DeFi. I can't see myself being a CEO driving a startup again. I am content being an one-shot lucky entrepreneur. Should there be listeners, I may be open to being a coach or a mentor to a small number of upcoming entrepreneurs privately. If for nothing else, I can at least tell them what not to do. And on that note, I am proud to point out that in our resolutions with the US agencies, they do not allege that Binance misappropriated any user funds and do not allege that Binance engaged in any market manipulation. Funds are SAFU. And with that, I look forward to seeing the new leadership take the reins. Please join me in congratulating Richard on his well-deserved promotion. So there you have it. Now here's the CEO's tweet. The fundamentals of our business are very strong. Binance continues to operate the world's largest crypto exchange by volume. Our capital structure is debt-free. Expenses are modest. And despite the low fees we charge our users, we have robust revenues and profits, and he shares actually some of those numbers. Now, Coinbase director Connor Grogan estimates that Binance can pay off the hefty fines imposed by the Department of Justice without selling any crypto asset. And Teng stated that the foundation on which Binance stands today is stronger than ever. For starters, he said it will focus on 3 aspects of the business: reinstating investor confidence, collaboration with regulators, and driving Web3 adoption. And for CZ, passing on the CEO torch, Binance's former global head of regional markets seemed a natural progression of the company's evolution. Let me know if you feel confident with this guy Richard at the CEO of the helm of the world's largest crypto exchange. CZ said he is interested in mentoring startup entrepreneurs and also focusing on decentralized finance initiatives. So there you have it, my crypto fam. But without further ado, now let's break down our next story of the day. There are 16 cryptocurrencies which are deemed securities in the latest Kraken lawsuit against the SEC. So let's break down what these tokens are so it can be on your radar. Here we go. In its lawsuit against Kraken filed just this Monday, the US SEC named 16 crypto tokens as securities. The regulator's complaint states the following: Kraken currently makes available for trading assets that have been subject of prior SEC enforcement actions based upon their status as a crypto asset security, including crypto assets trading under the symbols ADA, which is Cardano, AXS, is that Axie Infinity? Please confirm with me, fam. There's Algo, which is Algorand. There's Atom, Chiliz, Cody, Dash, one of the privacy coins, Filecoin, Flow, ICP, Mana. Wow, that's Decentraland. Matic, that's Polygon. That's the layer 2 scaling solution for the Ethereum network and one of the top gainers as of recent. You got Near, OMG, Sand, gaming token, as well as Solana. Some of these cryptos are top tokens out there. Now, the regulators pointed out that some of the aforementioned crypto assets have been named in several previous legal cases, including those involving Coinbase, Binance, and Bitrex. The SEC chair, Gary Gensler, repeatedly said that he views all crypto tokens except Bitcoin as securities. So Bitcoin is the only crypto with that green light. However, we all know the recent court ruling found that XRP is not necessarily a security on its face. Now, in the lawsuit against Coinbase back in June, the SEC stated that crypto assets like ICP, AXS, Chiliz, Flow, Dash, VGX, File, Nexo, Near, ADA, Sand, Solana, and Matic meet the criteria of being an investment contract. In the same month, the securities regulator identified in a lawsuit against Binance that 12 crypto tokens are securities, including BNB, the native token of the Binance exchange, BUSD, Solana, ADA, Cardano, Matic, File, Atom, Sand, Mana, Algo, Axie Infinity, and Cody. And in April, the SEC said Dash, Algo, TKN, NGC, and OMG are unregistered securities in the lawsuit against Bitrex. So there you have it. It seems they're deeming every single crypto token a security minus Bitcoin, and it seems XRP also got that green light. Now, responding to the SEC's charges on Monday, the Kraken CEO Dave Ripley emphasized on social media platform X, "We strongly disagree with the SEC claims. We stand firm in our view that we do not list securities and plan to vigorously defend our position. Like Kraken, Coinbase has insisted its platform does not list crypto securities." But I think it's kind of like whatever the regulator says goes, right? Now, in July, Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, asserted that the SEC's interpretation of investment contract violates the law. And after the SEC's move against Kraken, U.S. Senator Cynthia Lummis called on Congress to pass a regulatory framework to provide the clear rules to the SEC on what is a security and what is a commodity. She shared the following on X: "The SEC cannot continue ruling by enforcement. Crypto asset companies have repeatedly tried to get guidance from the SEC only to be hit with enforcement actions, causing unnecessary harm to consumers." So there you have it, my crypto fam. Any of these altcoins that they may be deeming an unregistered security, are you bullish on? Are you holding them? Because now you already know they're going after them, so you have been warned. But now let's break down our next story of the day. We broke down the 16 unregistered securities according to the SEC. Now let's discuss the latest with Grayscale having conversations in private with the SEC. Let's break this story down. Grayscale met with the SEC to discuss spot Bitcoin ETF details. Definitely a good sign and a good omen that an ETF is likely to come. Executives from the crypto asset manager Grayscale, which is the largest hodler of Bitcoin in the world, they custody 620,000 BTC, met with the SEC to discuss details of its flagship Bitcoin trust, with the firm wanting to convert its spot Bitcoin ETF, ultimately their GBTC product, into a spot. Now, a November 20th SEC memo disclosed Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein, legal chief Craig Salam, and ETF head Dave Laval, and 4 other execs, along with Davis Polk law firm representatives, met with the SEC Division of Trading and Markets. The memo said discussions concern NYSE ARCA and their proposed rule change to list and trade shares of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust under the NYSE ARCA Rule 8.201-E. Grayscale detailed that it had entered a transfer agency and service agreement with BNY Mellon. According to a filing shared by Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seyffart, the bank will act as the agent for the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, facilitating the issuance and redemption of shares and maintaining shareholder accounts. Now, in a November 21st post, Seyffart observed that the Trading and Markets Division is in charge of approving or denying Form 19B4S used to inform the SEC of a proposed rule change by a self-regulatory organization. Seyffart added that Grayscale's agreement with BNY Mellon was likely something that was always going to be required at some point and isn't an indicator that GBTC will soon be converted. As James Seyffart shares here, Scott pointed out the transfer agent agreement with BNY Mellon and GBTC's 8,000 today because he apparently has eyes everywhere. And that said, this agreement is likely something that was always going to be required at some point, but says nothing about timing, in my opinion. He also shares, since it feels like everyone is asking, events of the last few days haven't changed mine and Eric Balchunas's odds. We can't go any higher than 90% by January 10th. That said, things are continuing to move forward in our view. So they're sticking with their 90% likelihood that the ETF be approved by January 10th of next year, which is right around the corner, roughly 50 or so days out. Now, also quoting them here, Grayscale has a real shot at dominating this ETF category if it can uplist GBTC to NYSE ARCA the same day, and other issuers launching their spot Bitcoin ETFs, making a concerted effort to compete on fees, says Gerasi. And he also shares here on X, in my opinion, the most substantial aspect of Grayscale's SEC meeting today is that the GBTC conversion is being referred to as an uplisting. That doesn't indicate any issues with the conversion to the ETF, which is definitely a good omen. And he also said that Grayscale will enter the markets on day one with $20 billion in assets under management, even with BlackRock in the mix. Grayscale submitted the Form S3 registration statement with the SEC October 19th, which shows its intention to list the shares of GBTC on the NYSE ARCA under the ticker symbol GBTC. And in October, the appeal court issued a mandate for the SEC to review its decision to deny the Grayscale bid to convert the GBTC product to a spot ETF. The firm is among many other major asset managers, including BlackRock and Fidelity, seeking SEC approval for the spot ETFs. Now, Seyffart maintained things are continuing to move forward, and he gives that 90% likelihood that the ETF be approved, but let me know if you agree or disagree. James Seyffart also points out here, looks like BlackRock also met with the SEC. There's a couple of slides in relation to its in-kind versus cash creation, and based on this, it looks like BlackRock prefers in-kind for their Bitcoin ETF. Makes sense, as it probably is the cleanest structure for them and end investors. So there you have it, my crypto fam. And also actually have a bonus story to share with you really quick while we're on the subject. Let's get back here to where we were. This, according to Matrix Report, they say the spot Bitcoin ETF odds have increased to 100%. So we have the top ETF analysts over at Bloomberg predicting 90% chances, but Matrix Report says we now have a 100% chance that the ETF is coming. And I'm not going to read to you this whole story, but that's the bulk of it. It's more bullishness of the ETF likely to come. The latest with BlackRock. Did they target CZ and Binance to make room for them to launch their ETF? Well, that's the word on the street. So let's break down what X has to share in this latest story. Here's a post that Altcoin Daily shared. Amazing. This post has 1 million views in under 12 hours. Now, he posted this yesterday and it says, wow, did BlackRock take down Binance? Binance. And you can see it's blowing up, 1.6 million views. There's this individual here by the name of Travis Kling. He posted this initially on June 16th, several months ago, way before all this drama. Here's what he shared. Lots of chatter on this BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, and rightfully so. BlackRock, more or less, is the US government. They have also received approval on 575 out of 576 ETF applications. The thing I'll say, there is no chance, and I mean zero, that this ETF is approved with Binance in its current position of market dominance. If this ETF is approved, Binance is either gone entirely or their role in price discovery is massively diminished. If Binance holds on to its current level of influence, there is no chance this ETF is approved. Wow, very powerful words, especially considering he shared this back in June, several months ago. And some of the analysts responded, including Lark Davis. He says would not be surprised. And maybe I'll read you some other feedback from some other analysts as well. Josh Rager said it was pretty obvious that this had happened for the ETFs to be approved. It is just common sense. And checking out some other posts, Altcoin Daily shares here, BlackRock and Vanguard together own 10% of Coinbase. The action today against Binance was all planned, just like the Bitcoin ETF is planned. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Altcoin Daily. And quoting Crypto Rover, this was the plan for the SEC all along, eliminate the #1 exchange in the industry and take over the market. Next, what will happen is that these ETFs will launch, and BlackRock also gets in power of Bitcoin. And quoting Jesse Cohen, there's not a far-fetched theory making the rounds that BlackRock was behind the DOJ criminal investigation into Binance. The main objective was to remove Binance and CZ from the picture before the Bitcoin ETFs get approved. BlackRock is the next Binance. Larry Fink is the next CZ. Thanks for playing. The big boys will take it from here. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this sentiment. And this article was just published. Has BlackRock killed Binance? Here's what the crypto community speculates, and I'll dive right into the meat and potatoes. Here's the impact of the USA versus Binance case, according to sentiment. Although many see the Binance news as the main culprit for one of the biggest retraces of the year, the fact of the matter is altcoins had already seen shrinking market caps. But interestingly, it appears some traders are swapping their BNB for FTT. And it is interesting as FTT continues to pump off the back of this news, which is mind-boggling. Now, CZ stepped down clearly. As we all know, the new CEO has been in place, Richard Teng. But now let's discuss BlackRock's influence. And is this a new era in crypto? There's growing speculation about the involvement of BlackRock, a significant financial institution, the largest in the world, controlling 10 trillion in assets under management. Observers note BlackRock's potential influence in the crypto market, particularly about a Bitcoin ETF, might have played a role in the events surrounding Binance and CZ. And amidst this turmoil, there's a sense of optimism about the crypto market's future. Some analysts predict the resolution of these legal issues and the potential introduction of ETFs can trigger the most significant bull market in crypto history. Send it. Let's go. This shift could begin a new era dominated by financial titans like BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, and the list goes on and on. The crypto community is witnessing a pivotal moment with the downfall of Binance's CEO and the reshaping of the market landscape. While the full implications of these developments are yet to unfold, they undoubtedly signal a significant shift in the crypto world, potentially ushering in an era of increased regulation, institutional involvement, and market maturity. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Do you think BlackRock is involved in all of this as a takeover? Kind of gives me deja vu vibes to when they took out the former BitMEX CEO, Arthur Hayes, and they were trying to replace it with FTX. And lo and behold, FTX ended up being the biggest scam of them all. Crazy, right?